Hi folks, welcome back to MJ Foods U.S. Corner Kitchen. We're into the next segment of our tamale tips today, and the second part of tamale tips is that we're going to show you how to go ahead and steam your tamales. There's many different ways that people do it. Basically, it's based upon what type of kitchen equipment that you have in your dwelling. Any way is the right way, but there are some ways that are better than others. I have discovered a very easy way to do it, and I have a very, very large stock pot. Many women do keep a large stock pot for big family gatherings, okay? And if you could pan over here so I can show you what's inside the pot. I've inverted a metal steamer inside. Then I've brought the water about a third of the way up to the steamer bowl. This is nice because air is circulating up through the steamer bowl, which actually is a colander, is the true word for it. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and season your water. One of the things that keeps the flavor in your tamales is by having your water seasoned. Nothing comes seasoned by itself, so we invite you to try this technique. Once again, I have oregano that I bought in bulk that I had pre-done into a smaller Ziploc bag. So I'm going to go ahead and put a fairly large amount of oregano in, and you just sprinkle it around. I'm going to do 2 handfuls. Okay. Next item I'm going to do is I'm going to do chicken base. If you have chicken stock, you're welcome to use chicken stock out of the box, or if you have dry chicken base such as this, which came from North Seasoning, I usually do 2 pinches. The next thing you want to do is you want to put in 12 peeled cloves of garlic. And last but not least is to go ahead and put a little bit of salt in your water. Doesn't take much, but that's just about enough. And then the next step that you want to do is that if you have recycled foil, I always recycle my foil. If I had used aluminum foil to bake with and the top came off without it having any mess to it, then I just fold it back up and put it back and reuse it, trying to be a little bit more eco-friendly and as well as to be easy on my shopping budget. So what you're going to want to do is that whatever you have, you just want to wad it up and then just drop it in your pot. And this is going to create a level barrier for your tamales to stand on. This is a large piece. And you just want to equally distribute this all the way around. And once you've used up all your recycled foil, you can move into your new stock. That one's done. Make sure you always have a backup of foil. So once you have your foil in your pot, then you're going to strategically place all your tamales. Now there's lots of discussion about how long tamales are to be steamed. Every type of meat requires something different. And one more piece of foil. All right, so if you can get a shot of how it looks in the pan, and you will see you've basically created a level structure so that you can stand your tamales upright. We do have 24 entree tamales. So the next stage that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and insert these tamales, and look how beautiful they look with the double ties on them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stand them. Depends on how everything's looking. So, you know, you can stand them upright, and you can kind of create a circular method. Oh, there's one thing I did forget, is that you want to keep, on the aluminum foil issue, you want to keep one side free of aluminum foil. So if you could get that shot. The reason why you want to keep one spot free of aluminum foil is so then therefore you can check the water level as your pot is steaming on the stove. This will allow you to add more water without touching the tamales and getting them wet. So we're going to go ahead and put all these in here, and we're going to go ahead and put the stove. I usually do it on a back burner, and you want to put it on medium-high heat because they don't necessarily need to boil, but just to be at a temperate process. And if you find that this technique by standing them up is not working well for you, you can always lay them down and stack them. If you lay them down, it's fine. If you stand them up, it's fine. It's just a personal preference. And once again, depending upon the ingredients, they all steam differently. If you were to look at a lot of the video segments that are on YouTube from a home cook, they're all advocating an hour to an hour and a half of steamer time. And the reality is that that's highly inaccurate. Some recipes, you're actually working with product that is not cooked in most circumstances. And so my product happens to be all cooked with the exception of the maza prior to steaming. If you can get a shot of that. So all the tamales are standing up. You have your airway right here to add water to your steaming process. And the foil elevates it enough so that the water is not boiling up into the corn husk and destroying the maza dough. That's something that you don't want. You want them to be moist, but you don't want them to be a mush when you take the corn husk off to eat them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put them on our burner, and that's a little high. Turn it down to somewhere between medium and to a low simmer. And that way it doesn't boil. You don't have that issue that we just spoke about, the water boiling up. You just want them to evenly steam. And typically the steaming process takes anywhere from 4 to 7 hours. That's typical with 24 tamales. If you're making them appetizer size, then obviously your steaming times will be altered because you're working with less product. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put a lid on our pot, and we'll come back at you in the next segment.